What's up, everybody, man? It's your boy, Mr. Dugai, coming at y'all with another video, man. And today I'm going to preview and predict both conference finals matchup. In the Western Conference, you have the #1 seeded Golden State Warriors will take on the #3 seeded Portland Trail Blazers. And in the Eastern Conference, you got the #1 seeded Milwaukee Bucks taking on the #2 seeded Toronto Raptors. First off, in the Western Conference, man, you know, with the Golden State Warriors, you know, they just knocked out the Houston Rockets in 6 games. Kevin Durant is injured. It looks like he's going to be out game 1 and very much possibly game 2 of this series. And after he gets evaluated, we'll see if he'll come back for game 3 or not. You know, and DeMarcus Cousins is reports that he could return in this series, but no official word yet if he's going to come out, you know, game 1, game 2, or if at all, you know what I'm saying? And so basically, you know, the Golden State Warriors will be a little short-handed. And the Portland Trail Blazers are also short-handed, you know, missing their center, their starting center Nurkic, who had broke his leg, you know, toward the end of the regular season. And Rodney Hood, you know, he got banged up against Denver in game 7. No word yet if he'll be available game 1 or not, or during the series or not. So, you know, we got to keep a close eye on that injury. But pretty much, man, you know, this is going to be an intriguing matchup, man, particularly because of the backcourts. When you have the 2 best backcourts in the NBA, you know, Golden State obviously with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, and Portland with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, you know, it should be pretty exciting, man. You know, especially to see them go at each other like that. Steph, you know, Golden State gonna probably try to find a way to hide him defensively so he won't have to guard Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum as much, you know, especially in that Houston series, man. He got in a lot of foul trouble trying to guard, you know, James Harden and Chris Paul and those guys. But, you know, a very intriguing matchup, man. I think the difference in this series is going to be the front court play, because I feel like the back courts are going to cancel each other out pretty much. You know, when you look at what Golden State with Draymond Green, who's playing very well in the playoffs, man, after kind of having a subpar regular season, you know, and Andre Iguodala, and you know, whatever big man they roll out there, whether it's Andrew Bogut or Looney, whoever goes out there is gonna have to do their thing. And for Portland, you know, with Mo Harkless and Alfred Camino and Enes Kanter and those guys, you know, it's gonna be it's intriguing to see who's gonna win the front court battle. You know, Portland has a little deeper bench than Golden State does, though Golden State bench played very well on in game 6 against Houston. You know, but for this series, man, I think I'm gonna roll with the Warriors. Honestly, I'm gonna roll with them in probably 5 games, man. Like, no disrespect to Portland, man. I really like Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum a lot. I just don't think outside of those 2, man, I know their bench is deep and this and that. I don't think outside of those 2, man, they're going to have enough scoring to keep up with the Warriors, man. Especially if Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins do come back in the middle of this series, yo. I like Golden State in 5 over the Portland Trail Blazers, man. And when you look at the Eastern Conference, man, between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors, this is obviously a very, very intriguing matchup. You got the teams with the 2 best records in the NBA all season long going at each other. You have the superstar element with the Milwaukee Bucks. You have Giannis and going up against Kawhi for Toronto. This is going to be very must-see TV, I believe, yo. When you look at the backcourts, man, you know, with Milwaukee with Eric Bledsoe and you know, Malcolm Brogdon, who's back from injury, going up against Toronto's backcourt with Kyle Lowry and Danny Green. You know, it's 2 very interesting matchups, man. Kyle Lowry and Eric Bledsoe. You know, though Lowry is a better shooter than Bledsoe, they both like to use their physicality and like to over empower other guards to get to these spots on the court, you know, to make things happen. And Malcolm Brogdon and Danny Green, you know, they both are pretty much, you know, D&3 type of players. So, you know, that's 2 very interesting matchups. Then when you look at the forward and the front court positions, man, Kawhi Leonard and Khris Middleton will be going at each other, man. That's going to be very interesting to see. Pascal Siakam and Giannis going at each other will be very interesting to see. And Marc Gasol and Brook Lopez going at each other, man. it's crazy because it's like they mirror images of each other when you really think about it, man. Even though I know it's gonna be a lot of Kawhi probably trying to guard Giannis, especially in clutch situations. You know, as far as the benches, man, Milwaukee bench, Toronto bench been solid during the season, though they haven't been good, you know, in these playoffs, especially against Philadelphia, against the 76ers. But Milwaukee, you know, coming in with George Hill and Connaughton, you know, and all those guys, man. You know, they played very, very well against the Boston Celtics, man. And Toronto, Van Vliet gonna have to step up, you know, as well as Serge Ibaka gave them a lot of good minutes and a lot of good play against Philly, Game 7. But prior to that, he hasn't been very good at all. But man, this is a very interesting series, man. I think these teams are very evenly matched, yo. I like Toronto, man. I like Toronto all year long, man. All year, I like the Toronto to come out of the Eastern Conference. You know, it's the Kawhi Leonard effect, man. This guy is just sensational on both ends. I feel like it's gonna be time. I feel like he could take Middleton away, yo. And at times they're gonna match him up with Giannis. Now I know Giannis obviously is much bigger and stronger than him, but if Kawhi could pick him up on the perimeter, you know, it'll be a fascinating matchup, you know. As long as he could keep him out of the paint area, you know, it'll be a fascinating matchup to watch Kawhi go up with Giannis. But I like the Raptors in 6, man. I know Milwaukee has the best record. They've been the best team. They got all these statistics going in their favor. But I like the Toronto Raptors in 6 games, man. I feel like this is their time to finally break through and get to the NBA Finals. And I think Kawhi Leonard is just that big time, man, where he's going to lead this team again. You know, but with that being said, man, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Go and give me a subscribe, man. I'm going to have NBA content, man, throughout the year. Y'all have a blessed one. Let's go Heat.